mums, Nelson here from the Garden City Gardener. Now today I've got a bit of a special episode in store. What I'm going to do today is just share a little bit why I started this channel and why I started down this journey, and also I'm going to show you around my existing garden and share some goals with you that I've got for 2020. Let's get into it. Now, I started the Garden City Gardener in March 2020, and I'm lucky enough to be located just outside Toowoomba, Queensland, one of the most beautiful cities in Australia, also commonly referred to as the Garden City. And I started on this journey because we were coming into some unprecedented times, with coronavirus spreading around the world like wildfire. And at the time, I had a beautiful baby daughter just weeks from being born, and it hit me. We live in a world where we become so dependent. Now, I jumped on YouTube and started searching for videos about how to become more self-sustainable at home. And one of the channels that I did stumble across was Self-Sufficient Me. Now, Mark from Self-Sufficient Me has a great motto. You don't have to be self-sufficient at everything, just be self-sufficient at something. And you can make a huge difference in your everyday life. So I set out on making my own veggie garden. And that's the journey that I want to share with you guys. Now, to start off with, it's pretty simple. I'm just growing some tomatoes. We've got some bok choy, beetroots, some beans and some peas, some lettuce and carrots. At the end of the day, I'm happy with being able to produce that stuff in my garden. It's given me great joy to know that I can come out of the kitchen, grab a lettuce, make a fresh salad, and to top it off, you're never going to find fresher, tastier fruits and veggies anywhere else but in your own garden. And let me tell you, there is no better feeling than turning a packet of tiny little seeds into a beautiful crop like this. And after a little bit more research, I found out you don't even need a garden. You can actually just grow it in pots. So then I started growing some zucchinis and squash in pots. Now you might be thinking, hey, but I don't have all that space. But it doesn't matter if you've got this much space or this much space. You can grow veggies pretty well everywhere. And as you can see, this garden was pretty bloody simple. Pushed some dirt up, mixed in some organic compost, and gave it a light sprinkle of sugarcane mulch on top. And it's really all you need to get started. Once you're started, I reckon you'll be hooked. At the end of the day, all I want to do is educate people on how to grow beautiful, nutritious food in your own backyard. And if I can inspire just one person to do that, my job here is done. Now, I mentioned earlier about my goals for 2020. Now, my number one goal would have to be continue to just grow this beautiful fresh produce in my own backyard. And in doing so, I do have plans to actually extend this garden and make a new raised garden bed section. I'm also planning a mini fruit orchard where I can grow some beautiful fresh fruit right at our back door. And I'm going to be continuing doing selective container gardening as well, as you saw earlier with the zucchinis. And it might seem a little bit ambitious, but I'm hoping that I'll get to the point where I can produce enough food to start a small market stall and supply my local community with some beautiful, fresh, local produce. Now that pretty well sums up this video. I hope you've enjoyed getting a little bit of an insight into my motivation and the inspiration behind the Garden City Gardener. To make sure you keep up with all our new content as it gets released, make sure you hit the subscribe button below and click the little bell icon next to it. Don't forget, give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at the Garden City Gardener. We'll see you next time.